Hello, YouTube and the internet. Welcome back to episode 117 of the Oakland A's franchise. Don't worry, it's not a 30-inning game or a 22-inning game. It's not even a game this time. We're going to quickly go over, we made the mountaintop, right? We have rightfully reclaimed our title as the best team in Major League Baseball after beating the Mets in it should have been more competitive baseball game. Game 4 was great, which, by the way, if you didn't go see Game 4, go watch Game 4. It's up on the channel. Go watch it. Anyway, before I start, I want to say thank you to everyone for helping me reach the goal of 150 subscribers on the channel. Pretty minuscule to some people, big deal to me. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you very much. Mean it. Love you all. Now, on to business. So we've went into the offseason. I've said it before that we're not really going to make a lot of moves. Well, things don't always go according to plan. Things change. Players leave. Other players come in. You guys know how the offseason works. So let's just go over this real quick and make this as short as possible so we can get started with the 2028 season coming up a little later on in the week. So, here's how we're going to do this. We're going to go over players that we lost, and then we're going to quickly look at our coaching staff, and then we're going to do a team overview highlighting the players that we acquired in the offseason. Because we did get some players, including one that might be the steal of the season. Doesn't look like it on paper, but just hang with me. All right, so first off, let's look at the players that we lost. They're going to appear in this nice little box right here, as you can see right here on the side of the screen. So first off, we're going to look at the San Francisco Giants that took 3 players from us. And, I'll say they took, as in we let them go. They went off to sign with the Giants. There's the 3 there. Josiah Gray going with a 3-year, $12.6 million deal. Adrian Morjon, 2 years, $3.6. And Luis Urias. A lot of teams were bidding for him. But the Giants come out of the winner at 5 years and $73 million. Next, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sorry, that's supposed to be centered. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks getting Jordan Holloway. Yeah, 5 years, $32.5 million. Big loss for us. We actually were in a bidding war with Arizona to try to keep Jordan Holloway. He was such a big issue. He was such a big problem solver in our bullpen last year. He opted out of his deal at the end of the year for some reason. Don't know why you would. Mitch Haniger also opted into his deal, so he's back with us for 1 more year. But Holloway decided to say, you know what, I want a title. I'm going to go somewhere else. We tried to have a bidding war with the Diamondbacks. The White Sox put in an offer for a little bit, but then they were outdone. But surprise, surprise, Jordan Holloway going to the NL West, and the Arizona Diamondbacks that have, I'm pretty sure, 11 prospects in the top 50. They have an insane amount. Anyway, let's move on with the list here. St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know why these aren't centered. St. Louis Cardinals getting Shea Langoliers on a 4-year, $13.2 million deal. Some people would disagree to let Shea go, but he's just not in our plans anymore. I think it's safe to say that Tyler Soderstrom is here to take over, along with our backup catcher, which I will show you momentarily. How about Miami? Let's look at Miami. Well, let's look at the last 3 teams here. As a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and pop all these on there for you. So we got the Miami Marlins getting Gregory Soto on a 1-year, $2 million deal. We weren't going to bring him back anyway, but it's definitely a notable. Stolen base aficionado Tim LeCastro going to the Detroit Tigers, 1 year, $350K. We weren't going to bring him back either. And then the Cleveland Guardians getting Clay Holmes on a 1-year, $1.7 million deal. So we definitely lost some players. Bye-bye black screen of rectangle. So we definitely did lose some players, but we also gained some. So before we quickly look at them, let's look at our coaching staff that kind of had a small shakeup. So let's hop on over as I snap my fingers, and we'll be over there. There we go. See? Isn't that magic? I didn't even have to edit that. Can you believe the ability I have? Anyway, so let's look at our managers. Let's go from top to bottom. We re-signed Chris Gonzalez, 2-time World Series manager. We signed him to a 3-year extension, about 10 million, 12 million, somewhere along in there. Hitting coach, we got our hitting coach back, Leo Menuda. He's been with us for about 2 or 3 seasons, so we signed him back on a 1-year deal, is what he wanted. Now, Gary Pettis, our pitching coach, retired, actually. As a matter of fact, he retired. So we went out and got Silas Falcon. I like this dude's name, and I think you guys will like him as well. He is our new pitching coach. As you could see, big on the clutch, control. Those are 2 that I would like to invest in developing pitchers in our farm system. So yeah, Silas Falcon on a 3-year deal with us. We had to outbid 3 other teams for him. First base coach is back, Dale Perkins. He's been here for a while. He's in the last year of his contract, so no change there. Dylan G, that's his nickname, Dylan. Dylan G, not the pitcher, but the third base coach. He also left and went somewhere else. So we went out and signed Eric Valenzuela, on a 3-year, you see the number there. I like his stealing. We have some players in our farm system that one of their main strengths is stealing, and we want to steal more bases this year. So I think he looks good. I really think Valenzuela was the best one. And we replaced our farm director in J.R. House. Once again, really emphasizes on plate vision and some stealing. So that's our coaching. That's our coaching system, or our coaching staff going into the 2028 and possibly beyond season. That way, if Menuda and Perkins were to stay, then they're going to probably stay with us till the franchise is over. So, with that being said, we're going to head over to the team. We're not going to take a look at the scouts. No reason to look at them. We're going to take a look at the scouts, and here is what the team is looking like. Now, this is going into opening day of spring, or first day of spring training. This is where we're at right now. Because there's a couple of mysteries I'm going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger on, and probably to leave in the comments of what you think will be the outcome. The biggest position to fight for right now is starter. Of course, we got our first 3 people. Elroy Mack. We got Mackenzie Gore. We got Gunnar Hoagland. Kevin O'Hara is probably also going to make the rotation. I think he's more than due to make his debut with the Oakland. I mean, technically he made a debut already, but to make a full season debut along with his buddy Elroy Mack. And those 2 have been pretty much been playing together a lot in the minors. But the challenge is the 5th spot. The 5th spot in the rotation. We have 3 pitchers fighting for 1 spot. We have the second. We have Louis Ochoa, who's the number 2 prospect in all of baseball. There you see his attributes right there. 80 overall, B potential, 24 years old, out of Mexico. And, he's done okay. He's done all right. I'll be very interested to see what he does here in spring training. We got Rico Vaccaro. He's also been hovering down in the minors. I don't know if he's my front runner for the 5th spot, but we'll have to see. We're going to look at, of course, numbers and deeper metrics other than wins and losses to determine who will get this 5th spot. And then possibly the dark horse, a guy that has not been talked about a lot, but you guys may know him, Dave Champion. We drafted him about 3 seasons ago, and he's made some fantastic leeway in AA, and he went to AAA at the second half of last season, and he did pretty well there. He did get hurt for a couple weeks, but he came back, and he looked pretty good. He is also fighting for that spot. As you could see, he could support a 98, possibly plus mile per hour fastball, only has 1 quirk, stopper. So, let you, down below in the comments, who do you think will be our number 5 pitcher? I'm not going to be revealing that here. It says MLB because we're in spring training. Spring training has not started yet, so there's no stats. So, now let's head over to the reliever. We've had some changes there. Obviously, I told you guys that Clay Holmes, Gregory Soto, and Jordan Holloway is gone. Brian Abreu, we just went ahead and signed him to a 2-year, $10 million extension instead of just fighting arbitration. Let's just keep him around. He's been good. Why not? Littell is back. Aaron Ashby is back. And then we get to the 2 guys that we signed in the offseason. Jose Ruiz, who is with Milwaukee, he looks like he really just had 1 bad year. But I like the way that his pitching repertoire is with his hits per nine. Our bullpen gave up way too many hits last year. So we wanted to sign more guys that can maybe control that. So you're looking at Jose Ruiz as possibly a seventh inning guy to tag team with Zach Littell possibly. And we gave him just a simple 1 year, $4 million deal. I think he's worth the most bang for the buck of what we're getting at. And then Ryan Helsley. We went and got him. He was with Boston last year. Very good numbers. I think very good numbers. 103 strikeouts, 125 innings, 5-2 record. Had 4 holds, only 11 home runs in 125 innings. That spoke a lot to me. We also signed him on a 1 year, $4 million deal, and you could see his stats right there. Also not really a long reliever. Like, he could be used late in innings, possibly the 7th. He could be a setup man if Brian Abreu needs a day off, but I like the way that Ryan Helsley could fit into our bullpen, as we needed more righties in that bullpen. Anthony Kay is back. We brought him back on a simple 1 year, $800,000 deal. He was pretty good. That 444, we saw how he pitched in the playoffs. I honestly think it was the sim that kind of... he was misused because of the sim. But we saw how he played in the playoffs. He was very good. And then, of course, Andrew White. Chances are will be staying in the pen for 2028. McDermott will be fighting for a spot along with Carlos Bacara. So, we'll see. Pedro Diaz will be our closer this year. Let's hope he got all the yips out of him. He also pitched very well in the playoffs. We're looking for a better stat line than what we see down here. 650, don't want that. 29 runs in 36 innings, not great. Blew 8 saves, not great. But let's give him a chance. Let's see how he does. Hopefully we won't have to rely on Abreu being the closer again. So let's go to the hitting. At catcher, you guys know that Tyler, the playoff Soderstrom, is our main man. He is our leader when it comes to catching. So let's hope that he can continue what he did in the playoffs, right? We all want to see that. I want to see that. So let's have Tyler have a good year, right? His first year as the captain of the catchers. His backup, Angel Alonso, a guy that we signed in free agency midway through the season last year. Kind of just a sneaky sign. 21 years old, B potential, 78 overall. Not a lot to talk about. He's more of a risk factor catcher. The ideal situation is he would start against lefties, and we'll have Soderstrom start against righties, since a lot of his power comes against lefties. So that's the original plan. We'll see how spring training goes. Not a lot has changed in the infield. Yoan Moncada, still our first baseman. Now, I know I said that we were going to slide him over to third and have Vaughn play first. That was until I found this shortstop / third baseman that was just chilling out in free agency. We'll get to him in literally a couple seconds. Second base, you guys know Max Muncy. Nothing going on here. Nothing out of the ordinary. 25 years old. His defense is going to be phenomenal this year. Let's hope he can get a Gold Glove. He deserves one. Of course, shortstop Robert Poisson. No issues here. He's due for a contract extension, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, along with Elroy Mack. Those are the two guys that we could see contract extensions before the season begins. Not sure, but if I do, you could always keep everything up to date here on the channel. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, and you'll know everything under the community tab about any extensions, everything Oakland A's franchise there. Or you can follow me on Twitter at JustMrLove, same as the YouTube name. Be nice to have you. Now, who was that player that we signed? Who was that guy that was just chilling out in free agency? Literally no teams were bidding on him. None. So I wanted to nip this in the bud. We lost Luis Urias to the Giants. Worked out statistically, I just couldn't use Urias that well. So who did we see? Who did we see? Who do you guys... sorry, Pittsburgh. I had to do it. It is O'Neal Cruz. Probably the biggest signing. I know. Biggest signing that we made this offseason. O'Neal Cruz, 29 years old. Still an 88 overall. great fielding, still has good speed. The contact numbers are going up along with the power. We're going to take a big risk on him. We just went out and gave him a 3-year, $29.8 million deal for O'Neal Cruz. And when I say I was surprised to see him just chilling out there, that's what I mean. He was literally just chilling out there. The Pirates didn't give him an offer. There was no teams giving him an offer. None. And this was after some popular third basemen like Brian Anderson and Luis Urias were signed. Chris Bryant had another contract year. There was people, he was just waiting there. And this is after the guys like that were signed. So I saw him and I'm like, well, we've got to get some more defense in this infield, right? Not to mention another power lefty bat, a potential power bat that's a lefty that we can use right in the middle of the lineup to kind of recreate the engine that we had at the first half of the franchise. So, what do you guys think about the O'Neal Cruz signing? You could also let me know down below if you like it or if you hate it. I'm open. I will read every single one. I guarantee it. So, looking at O'Neal Cruz, had a down year last year, but he still played all 162. He just had a really, really down year. I am going to bet that is a 1-year slump. I really expect him to show off this year. And yes, you guys have picked it out. He is playing third base, not shortstop. So, I did use my one and only defensive switch that I allow myself in my guidelines. So I changed O'Neal Cruz from a shortstop to a third baseman. And the reason I did that is because when he was a shortstop, his secondary position is third base. So I just switched him around. That's all I did. He looks good. Let's hope he plays good. And big shout out to Juan Rodriguez. Keep an eye on him in the postseason or in the spring training. He could make the roster as a DH to share with Mitch Haniger, but we'll see about that. Outfield, nothing to really talk about when it comes to the outfield. By the way, and Christopher Morel is also back with us. 2-year, $5 million extension. I liked Christopher Morel. I like his versatility. He's a very good bench bat, to say the least. So, sorry, Christopher. Didn't mean to ignore you. We did bring back Christopher Morel. Now, on the outfield, not a lot to talk about. Everything is pretty much the same in the outfield. Andrew Vaughn is still here. He may see a slight cut of his playing time because I just didn't like his defense at home. He probably doesn't play at home. I know that sounds strange, but we're going to do our best to probably not have him patrol that huge outfield. He just doesn't have that defensive prowess that I want him to have. Very good year, though, so we're going to do our best to keep his bat in the lineup as much as possible. Center field, Luis Robert, of course, entering halfway through his contract, which means I can now legally put him on the trade block. I could possibly even initiate trades, seeing how he has not been with the team for 5 or more consecutive seasons. But I will be fair, and I will put him on the trade block first if I choose to do that. If he has another year like he did last year, or this year here, 226, and he did not a lot in the playoffs either, he could be traded. Who knows? Just who knows? As of right now, my goal is to not trade him. Robbie Rarick, of course, our guy, 1 year, $3 million arbitration deal. This guy was good. He needs more playing time. So hopefully we can get him more playing time. And of course, in right field, PJ Casto coming off his rookie season, hit .290. Couldn't be more happy with how he did in the regular season. We didn't hear a lot of him in the postseason. A couple home runs, a couple of RBIs. I think he even had a stolen base. But we'll see how Casto develops this year, as he will break into the 80 overall plus category this season. And of course, our boy, the captain, Mitch Haniger. Last year of his contract, he could have opted out, but he decided to opt in and stay with us for one more season. Don't let that 72 overall fool you. He is actually regressing. Hard to say what's going to happen with our captain at 37 years old after the end of the year. So, there you have it, guys. I wanted to keep this video nice and short for you. So, I want to say thank you to everyone that has supported this franchise, that has followed the channel, got us to 150 subscribers. Thank you very much. Now, like I've said before, this franchise will go until a week before MLB 23 comes out. I kind of just want to give myself that 1 week buffer, just to play other games, get myself ready for 23. Of course, by then, you will know the team that I'm choosing for MLB The Show 23. And I'm going to leave a hint somewhere. I'm going to see if you little super sleuths out there can figure out where the hint is. But I got to be careful what kind of hint I leave. So I don't want you to figure it out, but I want to be fair and try to give you a hint. So it could come anytime. Could come during a stream. Could come on a post. Could be in a video. It's not in this video. I'll go ahead and tell you it's not in this video. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I'm going to end it here. And like I said, if you're new, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Be nice to have you here. As I guess we quest for 200? I don't know. There was a joke to get 500 subscribers by the summer. Sure, why not? Let's go for that. Let's see if we can get 500 subscribers by July 4th. I don't know. Just something. But I really do, seriously speaking, I do appreciate you guys for showing interest in this, and I hope that the entertainment is worth it. And I don't know what else to say but that. But thank you guys. I will see you for episode 118. Opening day questions will be answered, and our year to defend our title will begin. So, thank you guys. Say it with me. Go freaking A's. Much love, everyone.